Hi guys. Um, so I just got done watching a live with Zach at the Tiger's Abyss. And I always love being in lives, and I mean Zach's lives are great. Other lives, talking to people, seeing what people are up to and doing. So he was doing like some deck walkthroughs. I forget what the deck was. It was some new majors only by Mel Moline. And that's an area I'm not very well versed in right now. Anyway, so Zach is being super productive and showed us his notebook full of writings, that he's doing, studying, and it's just like monstrous. And I'm like, oh, I have a few pages. So I have not been super productive. It's been hit or miss the last week or two with, I'm doing a little bit of reading here, a very, very tiny amount of writing there, picking up the cards. But I'm not very good at just sitting down and studying for hours on end. And I wish I were. I wish I could just knock some shit out. But that's something I struggle with. So I want to do this little video on vices. And I'm going to make it a VR. And we'll see how it goes. I'll be happy if even one person, just one responds with a VR. So, what are my vices? And I'm going to create a little spread right now. Maybe something, I don't know. But we're going to do something where the tarot, I'm going to read and see what the tarot has to say about my vices. So, first and foremost, what are my most unhealthy vices? Okay? If you're going to do a VR, it's going to take some soul searching. Let's get honest with each other, okay? No, no petty bullshit vices. Let's hear the real deal. Some of my vices, biggest ones, are not wanting to do the work. That is a big one. It's a big one with me. Like, I want all the benefits of doing stuff, but I really don't want to work too hard to get it. And that might be laziness. It might be a little bit of my depression, but it's also just a mindset. And it's something I really want to, get out of, I guess. I know that good things do take patience and hard work. Like, I can't expect to learn anything without putting in some diligent effort, I do know this, but it doesn't keep me from wanting all the benefits without doing the work. So that's one of my, that's not even really a trait, but that is something that I feel could be listed under there. I overeat sometimes. Let's get honest. I eat my feelings, and I do my best to hide it, but if you guys couldn't tell, and I'm not talking bad about myself, I'm being realistic here, I have gained a few pounds. I mean, yes, we're all in COVID, so that I think that I'm not alone in that. I have since the beginning. I've gained a few pounds. I notice it for sure. Ew. I don't know what that was. I'm a wreck. No. So I've gained a few pounds. And that alone isn't that bad, but it's bad for me because I know why I'm gaining that weight. And it's because, I'm trapped inside a lot, not a lot of social activity right now for a lot of us. But I tend to overeat. I eat my feelings. And when I get depressed, sad, stressed out, I have coffee in the morning, and then I don't eat until late at night. Like, I barely ever eat during the day, which to some might sound like, great, why aren't you losing weight? But it's like one of the worst things you can do because your metabolism is not kicking in, right? Like, so if I don't start eating in the morning, my metabolism at the end of the day is at like a standstill. It doesn't want to work. Then I go to sleep and it's all just sitting there turning into fat. Ugh, it grosses me out, so it's one of my worst traits, I think. Is just stuffing my face until I feel sick. I said it. Said what I said. Another trait is smoking. I smoke. I vape. And that hasn't gotten much better. I smoke less cigarettes now, but that's because we don't smoke in the house, and I vape in the house, and there's no scientific evidence that says vaping is any better for you. It's, probably just as bad in different ways. So that's another vice is so smoking, overeating, not wanting to put in hard work. To be honest, I didn't really think much about this. I don't have a list or anything. Like, I was just like, let's pop on because Zach's being productive. I need to be productive with something before I go on to play League of Legends. Because I said, bye guys, I'm leaving, gonna go play some League. And I'm like, well, I'll feel better about it if I do something with myself beforehand. So let's stick with those. Those are the big ones that I give myself a hard time with. Food, cigarettes, and kind of laziness, not wanting to put in a lot of effort. So, how can we use the tarot to help us with our vices? I'm not super great at creating spreads. I usually just read intuitively, pull a few cards, and then go from there. So that's what I'm personally going to do. If anybody wants to create a spread for this, please do. It might help others. If you want to create your own personal spread, do that. If you read intuitively, do that. But I think, I'm going to be using my Centennial Rider Waite. And let's see. Very yellow. Okay. Okay, so I got the Seven of Swords, followed by the Page of Pentacles, followed by the Three of Wands. This is, and a lot of times what the tarot does is not, sometimes it gives me insight, sometimes it just calls me out, and it likes to be like, listen, you know the answer. You know what you need to do, but, we'll put it out there for you anyway. And that's what I feel like the tarot, what it's telling me, what my baby is telling me tonight. So Page of Pentacles in the middle is kind of like the overall situation. And this is showing my intent. Like, I want to learn. I want to study. I want to be more grounded. And these are all aspects you can find in the Pentacles. And the page is showing a start to that, like it's showing that I'm not anywhere in those areas, I'm not the Night Queen or King. I am the Page. So this is just really, it's showing me that this is what I'm going for. I want to start fresh. I want to turn over new leaves in these areas. I want to learn and be able to grow. So a great card for our center card there. And then I feel like, and this is how I read intuitively, to the left and to the right can often mean different things depending on what cards show up. Some people might call that cheating. I call it using intuition. But Seven of Swords is really telling me that, what is the Seven of Swords is about. It can be about deception, obviously thievery. But for me, it's showing me that I'm doing a lot of things thinking I can get away with them. I think I can get away with not worrying about my weight. I think I can get away with smoking and it's never going to come back to haunt me. I think that eventually I will get somewhere in my YouTube channel or my spirituality without doing a lot of work. And those are all very false notions. Like, that's not true. And the Seven of Swords is saying, you think you're getting away with this. You think you are. But we all know, I think, that the Seven of Swords, that's not the ending of the story. You don't get away with it. You rarely get away with anything, especially if you see the Seven of Swords involved. So then on the right-hand side, more towards the future, and maybe what I should be doing is the Three of Wands. This is, I love that I pulled this card. This is really showing me that, I have the ability to do these things, I don't really need an answer from the tarot on how if I want to quit smoking, I can talk to my doctor. If that's really what I need, I can get on some smoking cessation medication. I can get on patches. I could go cold turkey and, try to find a support group. The tarot can't really say this is what you need to do because they already know what to do, but it can show me, like this is showing me right now, Like, there is a future there. Like, if I can work towards these things, if I can turn over some of these leaves, if I can put in a little bit of work, I will eventually see a return on my investment, is what this is showing me. Like, we have a guy that's, looking out, and to me, he's always been looking at his ship sailing. He's not watching them come back. He's looking. He knows he has put something out there, and that eventually he's hoping that he's going to see that return. And that is definitely what I see here tonight. And what the tarot is telling me is like, yes, I want to start. I want to do some new things, right? That's what the page is. I want to be willing to grow, willing to learn. I think that I'm getting away with all this, but in reality, I know, and the tarot knows, I'm not. And I need to be, wands are definitely more, they have the go-getter attitude is what I like to say. And it's not something I can just sit on my ass and do nothing about. This is something I have to get up, and do the work. I have to do the work. I have to put energy out into the world. Very magician. I have to put out energy if I expect to receive anything in return. I will pull one more card as a, like, okay, I see that I can do this. You're telling me I can do this. Now show me something I can use. What will help me to overcome all this? Oh, I can't. Okay. Not what I was hoping to pull. Like, I don't know what I was hoping to pull, but it was not this. So my question, what can I use? I hate when the tarot does this. Like, why couldn't you just give me a clear, definite answer? Like something nice, like the Three of Cups, I could have really taken a Three of Cups right now, but I got the Ten of Swords. And this to me it's telling me that it's not going to be easy. It is, it is affirming that this can be an ending, that the 10 is the ending, there is an ending here. And swords are all about, the anxiety, fears, frustrations, everything I have about all this, how my mind just constantly thinks about these things and tosses them back and forth. And I give myself a hard time about all this. And the tarot is saying, it's giving me swords because that is what I'm dealing with. And it's showing me that the end is possible. The end can be here right now to these things, but it is certainly not going to be easy. It's going to be very, very painful. So when I ask, how, it's, to me, the tarot is saying you just need to realize it's going to be painful. There is not going to be any way to do these things that I want to do and, have them be easy. I can't expect to change without a little bit of grief, a little bit of letting go, a little bit of pain involved. And, and it's obviously not going to be, just a little bit, a little bit difficult. It's something I must be prepared for. Am I ready for that? I don't know. The tarot gave me the exact answer I wanted and needed, I think. But it is telling me that I really need to be super prepared if I want to do these things. So maybe perhaps taking them one at a time instead of trying to do all of them at once, because I'm really good at trying that and usually fail. So maybe taking them one at a time. But again, just knowing, being prepared can be extremely helpful. If I go in expecting it to be easy and it's super hard, then I'm gonna, I'm gonna want to give up. I'm gonna say, this isn't what I expected. No thanks. I don't want to do this right now. If I go in knowing that it's going to be painful, that it is going to be a grieving process in some areas, I can be more spiritually, mentally, emotionally prepared for that. I can get myself ready, I can be meditating more. I can be talking to friends and saying, this is what I'm trying to do. I could use your support. Lots of little things I can do to help prepare so that I am more likely to succeed in changing these things. So, thank you. Thank you, tarot. You're so good to me. So, that's it. So, that's, yeah, give me a VR, even just one of you. I'd love it if more did it, but, and if you don't want to go as hardcore and you just want to pick like one little vice that's not so intense, do that. Do whatever you're comfortable with. I'm usually all like, I'm all in. And that's how I felt tonight. And I think this reading helps. So if you want to do a VR, I'm definitely interested in, what any of you deal with when it comes to vices. I don't think we talk about that very often. What struggles you're dealing with. And, read a few cards if you feel comfortable. If you're not a tarot reader or don't feel comfortable reading, then you could still make a VR and just talk about them and maybe brainstorm, some solutions to those problems. Yeah, and if you are a reader, read some cards for us. Tell us what you find. It's always interesting to see how other people read and their interpretations of the cards that they draw. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.